At start, speed soars to 16th, steering fails, scaring him witless. Kiryamov lived alone in a rustic cabin for 2 weeks to nail the role of a reclusive survivor, and the director immediately said, "This is Emmett, straight from hell." The sound team got creative, leaving a 2-minute and 30-second spot of total silence in the movie, just to let you hear your own heartbeat. Plus there's that clever water weakness setup. The origins of alien monsters subtly linked to the real-world refugee crisis, keeping you on the edge of your seat. Also, it's not just a $61 million sequel. First R-rated film to break the box office after a long mask-wearing era, opening new doors for horror. Alright, let's get to the good stuff. The main feature begins here. It's day one of the alien invasion, and the Im family is cheering on their son's baseball game. At this moment, everyone's eyes are glued to the sky, as if some fireballs are plummeting. Thunderous sounds erupt, and they realize something bad might be brewing. Panic sets in as everyone rushes to flee, and little May insists, "Don't follow Dad." Family plans to meet at home. Azam and his daughter board. A police car speeds by. Subtitle: Am instructs his daughter to wait for him in the car while he goes down to inquire about the situation, and little Fish is as anxious as a cat on a hot tin roof. Am rushes back in high spirits, but the car refuses to start, while little Fish and the other kids remain blissfully unaware of the chaos. Trying to comfort his little son, suddenly a huge monster jumps onto the car, and Fish is left dumbfounded, flooring the gas pedal. Little Duck spots Dad's car through the window, but Fish can't stop, now veering ahead. They smack right into a big bus. Monsters crawl out from the bus windows, and Fish, in a hasty reverse, crashes into a street. At that moment, little May spots Mom's car, rushes out without hesitation, but swiftly stops her. Am escorts May into a nearby supermarket, while Curly Hair is frantically on the phone to Mom, both wearing expressions of panic. Curly Hair looks really anxious. Who wouldn't be scared in a situation like this? Old man nearby starts babbling, "You're not afraid of anything, even if it doesn't happen," and gently cups the old man's mouth. "Why you gotta be so chatty, old man? Come, let's grab a drink." Quietly shaking his head due to cold without making a sound, the monster looms by the glass. Boom. Curly Hair's phone suddenly goes off and the monster locates them, barging in for a free-for-all attack. With no other way, Am has to take his daughter and they continue to hide, sneaking out through the back door. But the monster seems to be on them like a Hulk, as the officer raises his gun, aiming at it only to perform like a toddler at the shooting range. Before he can even get off a second shot, the monster gets him, and we zoom in on Little Dark holding his brother tight, covering his ears. After dispatching the monster, Fish carries Little Dark into the warehouse, hands him a shotgun, then leads the kids down to the basement. Fish carefully places the kids in a box and then squats underwater searching for an oxygen tank. Later that night, little May mimics Dad, plotting their escape routes only to realize Dad's gone. Fish dreams of escaping this deserted spot, while the family begins their slow escape, traveling from dawn till dusk. Then from dusk to dawn, they finally find a temporary shelter, but Fish carefully crawls through barbed wire and accidentally triggers a trap. Without any hesitation, he sprints off with the kids, yet Little Dark accidentally steps on a trap and can't help but let out a scream. Fish swiftly clamps Little Dark's mouth shut, yet the panic still echoes into the sky clang. After passing the kids to May, Fish strains to pry open the trap, exclaiming in frustration, "What are you yelling about?" Just then, the monster rushes towards them, and May quickly slaps Peggy on the barrel, causing the monster to lose its spirit, making Fish take decisive act. Next, he leads the kids into the building, with the man guiding the way while carrying Little Dark. The monster is hot on the heels, nearly catching up, and the man leads into a big soup restaurant. Little May jumps in right after him, where he leads them to a relatively safe shelter. Finally, he speaks. "You can't stay here. There isn't enough food and water." Fish seems to recognize the man, but he keeps his head down until Fish calls out his name. Fish recoils, and as he calls the man's name, the man looks up in shock. Let's just call him White Extremist for now. He's a longtime friend of Fish, who carefully opens the box to find a baby resting snugly inside. The man finally dares to remove his mask, visibly softening under Fish's hopeful gaze. The family appears to have found themselves a new haven. That night, Little Dark tosses and turns in bed, while Sister May turns on the radio and gives him headphones to help him relax. Meanwhile, while chatting with white extremists, Fish learns they have 3 feet of concrete overhead, allowing monsters above to hear sounds. Fish asks about his kids and wife, and white extremist responds grimly that his son died on the day of the baseball game, and his wife turned into a monster not long ago. When he began howling, well, you can just imagine. Suddenly, Little Dog opens his eyes. Hearing music from the radio, there are still other survivors on Earth. Dark and May seem to sense hope, but white extremist says, "Leave here. There's nothing good." Subtitles. If you really enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe.